And when I usually encounter them, they're in some stage of waking up to that reality. So as they wake up to it, it's as if they're being born into their life. You see, they had a physical birth into the body, here I am, but to become spiritually kind of born into their life. And the profundity of that experience equals that of your physical birth, actually. And what I've helped people with is that sense of disorientation, of that initial emergence spiritually into their life. And I simply just sort of help them understand where they are, what's going on, what's happening to them, what the potential is, what it means, what it might mean for them. So it's like I'm helping them become acquainted with the reality of their soul, acquainted with the reality of the nature of the soul is very powerful. It's the nature of the soul that actually creates reality. So when we talk about things like manifestation, bringing new reality into your experience, to the degree that you can understand and truly kind of master the principles of your soul, those experiences become available. You see, they become just an innate part of your regular experience, bringing new reality into your life, into your world. And so the nature of your soul, not only is it about joy, but it's also about power. And power meaning the means in which you enact your choices. You see, your free will and your choices. It is the power of your soul that gives you that.
Dov, I know you've told me that in your work you've been doing a lot of graduating people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You've been finding people stuck in the role of a student.
Oh, yes.
Will you talk a little bit about that?
Okay, yeah. Yeah. In life, especially when you are on a spiritual journey or have some awareness of being on a spiritual journey, one of the things that you'll find is that there are certain instances, there are certain periods of time where you are having an experience of what I call graduating. It's a little bit like that spiritual emergence that I talked about, which is also where we get the word emergency. Okay, because for some people it can be kind of distressing, and disorienting. So the experience of graduating from an old role, from an old identity, something that served you well at one point and was appropriate for you at one point, but because you reach a level where it becomes no longer appropriate. You see, it becomes no longer actually who you are. So it's an identity which doesn't fit, you see. So very often what humans need at this point is a validation of that reality, of what is actually going on, some awareness, some information of truly what the process is that they are actually going through. That they are shifting identities and that an old identity is no longer appropriate for them. And permission. You see, permission to step into the next level. Permission to graduate. You see. And part of my function as a spiritual teacher, if you will, or an elder, or that archetypal role that I occupy is one that on occasion can give the permission to give the understanding, the orientation of what is actually happening, and the permission to step into the next role, okay, the next identity. And another way of understanding this is that it is initiation. It's facilitation of initiation, if you will.
Deva, will you talk to me a little bit about God's plan and destiny and how free will plays into that?
Okay, yeah, that's a very, very important question, because this is a question that comes up very often in people's thinking and discourse and such. The whole free will versus destiny kind of discussion. Okay, first thing I would say about that particular discussion is that, again, it's very steeped in a certain duality. The idea that it must be one or the other. First of all, I would suggest that as humans are divine in their core, divine in their center, we actually are we have the choice and the free will. So in a sense, it's like destiny is really not, it's really not such a set in stone kind of prospect. We can shift things. We are co-creators. So in a sense, we have a say in terms of what is destined. You see, which is a very great, great responsibility that we have as humans. At the same time, we're also free. We are also freed by this status. We can also choose to allow the default reality to hold sway as well. So it's not so much a dualistic thing. It's like the more that we examine it, the more that destiny is true, as well as our sovereignty or choice as humans, as beings, as sparks of the divine. So there is destiny, and we create it. It's the choice, the choice, and our choices have all of the power of the universe.
Please speak a little bit more about co-creation. What is co-creation?
Co-creation is the idea. It is the process of developing and shifting and changing our lives and reality in relationship with, like, the source, in relationship with the Supreme or God or Goddess. It's the process of our participating in that divine relationship. And